Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. PSR is excited to present to you Last Call, featuring your boy, the pimp slap P.O.D., Mike L.
Pimpin' ain't easy, but it's fun like money. Got bookies on the run, now it's time to get money. Not the typical way to ball. It's last call like some convicts waiting on the next draw. You can feel the tension. Did I mention? Fools better pay attention, cause we getting paid like a pension. T's on the ones and twos, we not the ones that lose. Mike, money's killers, Mike even make the evening news.
And now, let's get to the picks.
We be pumping! Buzz Force Radio, you know we be pumping!
What up? What up? Welcome into Last Call. Here we go. Big day ahead of us. It's Wednesday, May 22nd, and I'm excited to bring back my friend LJ from H-Town today to bust up MLB and the NBA today. We got some looks to cook the books across the boards. We're going to start off with this big NHL hockey game, game number 1, the Florida Panthers, the New York Rangers in play. Cannot wait there. That's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun series. Then we'll get through some Major League Baseball. We have an afternoon slate, which means we have a smaller evening slate. So we got to get in there and scrub it, an extra layer there to make sure we got the best plays to get that cash. Then we're going to move over to the NBA. We got ourselves game number 1, Western Conference, Dallas versus Minnesota. It's all going down. We close it out with a 10 p.m. WNBA game as well. The Fever versus the Storm. And why wouldn't we been starting to get heating up in the WNBA? Had a nice little mini sweep yesterday, a little 2-0 action in the WNBA. Shout out, I know our guy Jose Bouquet cashed yesterday as well. So we're starting to make some noise up in the WNBA, you guys. Let's take it and run with it while we got the opportunity. I'm very excited about what we've got in store tonight here. We've got action across the slate. Major League Baseball. We'll pop off San Diego, Cincinnati, Boston and Tampa, the White Sox and Toronto, Atlanta and the Cubs. And then again, we'll get into the NBA and the WNBA. And we'll put the bow on the show. So we got a lot to do. You guys know the deal. Not a ton of time to do it. So we got to get to work. Smash that thumbs up button if you're just getting in here. Excuse me. A steamy day across Western New York today. And I'm ready for it. It looks like we're going to get some rain. So I'm getting a little tickle in my throat. The rain tickle saying it's about time to get going here. We could use it. Steamy and muggy all day today. I'm ready for a little reprieve. But we got to get these bookies into battle here. No reprieve for them bookies as we get after it, you guys. 3 things we ask you to do here with the Last Call. Hit the thumbs up button. Show the support. Let them know where you're spending your time, getting that last-minute information, all the looks you need to cook the books. Grab a pen and paper. Of course, you're going to want to share the plays that I have. You know LJ's coming in ready to roll. He's going to fire the clip tonight. And then, of course, you're going to want to take note of all the plays from our chat. Sharpest chat in the business. I stand by it every day. Better and better. The looks are better and better. The updates, the prep, you guys are bringing in your own angles and analysis. Everyone's doing their research with the same goal in mind. And that is, let's get that bookies cash. Let's put it in our pockets here. Why not? We got Memorial Day coming up. Be nice to do some upgrades around the outdoors out there. Get some nice steaks on the grill. And we're going to do it by way of getting our bookies to pay for it today. Last but not least, you guys, throw your plays in the chat. Let's see what you guys are on here. Let's see what you've come to the table with here as we've had all day to look into the details about this thing here. Let's go. Let's get after it. Let's see who's in the chat. We'll give a recap. And then again, we'll fire off Major League Baseball, the NHL, I'm sorry, I screwed up the order. The recap, NHL, Major League Baseball, NBA, WNBA, and we get everybody up out of here. So Joseph Thompson, I know it's a big night for my guy, Joe T. Excited about his T-Wolves being in action. And he's got NHL plays for us as well. First guy in the chat, first commenter says, let's get that cash. NHL best bets, the first period over 1.5 and the full game over 5.5 in the NHL. 19-0-1 to the over between these two teams. Damn, there's a number for you, 19-0-1. Major League Baseball best bet. He's going Brewers, Marlins over 7. He's 4-0 on plays last night given out here. Told you the chat's running sharp, and it's led by our guy, Joe T. He says, and Timberwolves, first quarter, second quarter, first half, third quarter, fourth quarter, team total over, full game, Timberwolves double results. Oh, man. I hope you don't get the old reverse trifecta like our guy Nasty Nate took last night there. You don't want to see that coming out here tonight, Joe T. We'll talk about that one here shortly. Kelsey's up in the house. Says, damn it, you still beat me. Kelsey says, hi, Mikey. Everyone smash the like button. Please do just that. Heed Kelsey's suggestion and smash that thumbs up for us. And Joe's letting Kelsey know you got to get up early to beat Joe T. Oldie's up in the house. Justin McCalvy's up in the house as well. Oldie says, boots are off. Bach is poured. Flour burning. Let's fire up the printers and get paid. I love it, dude. That's exciting. Welcome home from work, my guy, Old E, and everybody else that's just getting there as well. Go figure out the cocktail selection. We'll help you guys figure out how to get paid. The Futon Bets likes the Edwards double. New Jersey Striker says, what's up, Mike? And Winner's Circle says, hey, yo, PJ Washington, 20 points and or over 2.5 threes with the Stars on the money line out there for our guy Winner's Circle. Looks like he's bringing in tomorrow's Dallas action, Edmonton and Dallas. Kenny Woods in the house. Bo Jackson's up in the house, my guy. Bo, it's good to see you. Kenny, good to see you. Steve G says, good luck, everybody. And Joseph Alvarado says, what is up, pimp players and money makers? Great to see you, Joseph Alvarado, keeping us correct up there in Chicago, man. Chi-Town, the Windy City. I can use some of that wind over here. It's just a stifling heat today here. You bust up to a 90 spot after spending all summer or all spring in the 40s and 50s. That one catches you by surprise. That puts a little sweat on the brow. Oldie says, after work, no cap, D-Gen, MLB two-legger, alternate line, same game, parlay, Brewers team total over 1.5, Marlins team total over 2.5 out there for a little minus 120 action. There's my guy Sean in the house. Sean, what's up? It's good to see you. And Indumino. Let me get that right. Indumino says Fever +5. Fever +5 for Indumino. Subhuman Gaucho says, good evening, pubbers. Kelly V, what's up? Kelly's in the house. Does Joe T agree with the 7 Milwaukee, Miami? On that heat says, salute, pubbers. Marcus McCarthy says it's beautiful in Rhode Island. It's hot here. I tell you, it's just downright hot. I got to get the fans out, get everything ready to roll up down here. Joe T's on fire. And Joe Free says, let's go, Mike. It's time. There's my guy, Juggler23, bringing us some of his action and trends here. And he's got an NHL trend for us tonight. The last 18 games between the Panthers and the Rangers have gone over 5.5 goals. This is a significant number, man. You guys, great action. I did not come across that over in my due diligence. So I'd love to see what you guys are bringing to the table. It makes a lot of sense. It's game one. Open up, let them try, let them run, let them see what they can do. Try to play that chess game, but try to go out there and just while out and see if you can't put a couple pucks in the net. I like it. It makes a ton of sense. Red Bearded Chick, White Sox first 5. I'm liking that one a lot. Subhuman says, looking forward to the NHL tonight. Going to be an amazing series. Wish you and I were on the same side, Mikey, but it's not meant to be. Subhuman Gotcha says, cheers at Oldie. How are you, my guy? I don't know if you know what my action is tonight, Subhuman Gotcha. I do have my Rangers futures. So we'll see. We'll talk a little bit about the NHL. Joe T says, Kelly, I watch the Brewers every day, and I still think something is wrong with Freddie Peralta. Wine Time Sports. There's my brother from another mother up in the house. And he says, Rays money line. Kevin Cash is 23-7 facing a sweep and 12-3 as a favorite and 19-2 when the opponent is 500 or better. The Subhuman Gaucho hockey play of the day is in. It's Tarasenko over 1.5 shots on goal. That's a great look. Tarasenko, he got ostracized from New York. They had him last year. They didn't want him. He's out there in Florida. He's going to be one of many storylines to keep an eye on across the Eastern Conference Finals. Tarek B's in the house. Says, what up, Mike? First quarter under 53.5. Full game under in the NBA. Oldie says, Subhuman Gaucho, summertime outdoor work, $1 million tan. Hell yeah. Subhuman says, my guy Vladimir, get some revenge on New York. Hell yeah. Anytime goal scorer, +400. I think it's a great look. It's a great look. Kelsey says, I had Nats, I have Royals, Yankees, and Storm out there. And Juggler23's got the wise guy NBA group. They passed on tonight's game. He's got the over 165.5 in the WNBA spots out there. Let's get to work here. Let's see what we got there. Subhuman says, Ice Guys live bet stream tonight. Hopefully I'll see you there. Mike says, Subhuman Gaucho. Tarek B likes the Rangers-Phillies game to go over. And Amsterdam, what else in the house? Says, let's go. RVD 420. Rangers Panthers. He's on the over 5.5. Let's get it. Not on the side at this minute. So that's going to be fun to talk about. Let's get on it. Kelsey says, Mikey, I'm working on a Kelsey play of the day to track, but I need help with a name. All suggestions, well, maybe not all suggestions, but throw them in the chat for you guys there. Let's help Kelsey figure out a name for the play of the day. Let's go through this thing yesterday. Let's talk about what happened. Still trying to climb back into that winning groove. We had a significant winning streak going to start May off. And I think we lost like 1.5 units yesterday. Yeah, it looks like that's about the case here. Not too exciting. I cut the Cincinnati Reds. I overcomplicated that one. We got Ali De La Cruz RBI, but overcomplicated it by cutting the Reds. Easy 2-0 winner for them boys. We'll talk about how that's going to relate to the San Diego Reds game today. Milwaukee Brewers cash force, the added Philly. Actually, I should say it was added. It was the one that I was debating cutting, and I'm glad I kept it in there. Philadelphia -1. They handled them Rangers. Be interesting to see how that game goes tonight. That's a super low number for Philadelphia, -120. Tempted to add the Phils. I don't have them on the card yet tonight, so tempted to add them. San Fran collapsed. Yankees under 8 collapsed. Detroit under 9 collapsed. Baltimore first 5 over 2.5, and Baltimore first 5 over 4.5. The full game. I'm sorry, both sides over 4.5 for both losers. Houston and Colorado lost. Great job in the NBA, though. We got that over. Talked about that over first. Oh, man, I thought yesterday we were going to catch that Pacer spot. Sam Hauser didn't get it done, though. That was disappointing. And then we swept the WNBA. We got the Wings +5.5. The Mercury +15. Didn't even need that 15 with them Mercury. They got the job done outright. So let's see if we can't channel that close and try to give ourselves some winners here as we open up the card today. Just the one game in the NHL. It's a big game out there. Of course, we already know the deal here. Game number 7. Big showdown between the Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers. Sergei Bobrovsky, Igor Shesterkin. Neither of these guys are confirmed as of yet. This is an 8 p.m. start, but based on morning skate, it looks like these are the two guys. Why wouldn't it be? It's the horses that they're the horses that brought them here now. You look at this thing in Florida, 6 games beatdown of that Boston Bruins team, man. They got hot. They got out there running 90.7% save percentage by Bobrovsky as well. Really no wrinkle in that guy's game plan thus far. On the other side of things here, the New York Rangers running and gunning. They started off 7 straight playoff games before they took a loss, and looked a little hairy for them versus the Carolina Hurricanes as they tried to close out that series after Game 5. But they came back, they handled their business, and they put them down. Now they're going out there. They're going to start this game off in Madison Square Garden, where the lights are oh so bright. Should be a very competitive game. Both these teams' rivals been dealing with East Coast dominance between them each alike here as they get ready to start this situation. And it's an ESPN game as well. So however that factors in, if you're looking for that action, you're going to want to go out there and you're going to want to get it on ESPN. I'll tell you what, I tried to right fit this New York Rangers team into this one tonight. I tried. I really want to. I've got the future bets on them as well. And maybe this is that spot where you look at it and you go, all right, well, I got these futures. And I don't want to say it's a hedge here because it's the first game of the series, but maybe this is that spot where I'm able to come in there and kind of recoup some of that money that was invested in those Rangers. It's a tricky game. There's really not – both these teams are stellar. They're both phenomenal and outstanding. This one just comes down to kind of my hunch in this thing here. I talked the other day. We talked about the hitting factors out there. When the team's gone out there and hit more than their opponent the previous game, they come out and they find a way to win the game, 41-33. They're revved up and battled for a physical series. It makes sense, too, because if you think the way the Rangers finished that series against Carolina, they were just trying to score to get this thing over with. They didn't want to go deeper than they already had to in that series, and they were certainly not looking for a 7. So, we look at some other numbers across the NHL, but it was very difficult to find any type of meaningful reason to see these guys get the job done. I got some great numbers for tomorrow with the Stars in Dallas. I'm sorry, it's the Stars in Dallas and Edmonton, but this one's just a gut play for me. We look at some of the cash. We look at where the cash is coming in now that this is a bigger game as well. 67% of the bets, 64% of the cash on the New York Rangers. The lines dropped from -110 to -102. this Florida team just has I have a feeling they come out there and they get this first sneaky W to get the job done. Statistically, strategically, both these teams line up pretty similar to one another as well. This one here, Sammy Reinhart, big conversation about his grittiness, the way that he comes out there and brings his game day in and day out. And Lavalier, the coach of the New York Rangers, said, hey, we got Rampe. We're not concerned about grit. We got the grittiest guy in the league here. Wouldn't be surprised to even see this series have a fight in this first game. But it's going to be tricky here. Goal scoring props as I was kind of looking across the board, I thought that was tricky as well. The one that I do like here, I like, Capo Caco plus 3,100. Top 5 draft pick 3 seasons ago, I believe it was. And, he's a guy that kind of sits out there in the middle of the pack, doesn't get a ton of minutes, but does get himself secondary time on power plays and the special teams units as a whole. So I was going to look to anybody to get that. I don't know about the first goal. That's a 3,100, but kind of would go a little bit off the beaten path in this game. Obviously, Matthew Tkachuk's a guy that's certainly more than capable of getting the job done. I expect him to get the job done, of course, but I guess plus 195 is not terrible. You look at this thing here, Reinhardt's plus 155 anytime goal scorer, Panarin's plus 170. There's Tkachuk. Carter Verhaeghe at plus 195. Chris Kreider coming off the hat trick to close out that last series, something you don't see very often. And, of course, let's not forget Vincent Trocheck. But I would dig deeper down into the well, get some of that risk return. Capo Caco, anytime goal scorer, 6-1. And, again, 31-1 for that guy to get the first goal. So that's going to do it for me in the NHL. We'll kind of keep it short and sweet, but I am rocking Florida. I did find minus 110s that are out there now. So minus 110 for the Florida Panthers before we bring on our Tuesday guest. Let me give a shout out to our guy, Oldie, gifting a Pub Sports Radio membership. Oldie, appreciate you, my guy. You are one of a kind. You come in here on the regular. You continue to lead with gifting memberships, helping us grow, bringing your energy, bringing your excitement, and gifting a Pub Sports membership. So cheers to you, my guys. Appreciate it. He says, let's see if I can get you green. He's talking to P-Dog. He's talking to Jay Peasy. He says, let's see if we can get Jay Peasy green. It looks like he missed. A swing and a miss, but we appreciate the swing. Shout out to you, my guy. Let's go. Kelsey Cash, play of the day. There you go. I like that sound. That sounds good. I like the KK acronym there. Kelsey Cash, play of the day. Steve G says, wrong team favorite, especially at Madison Square Garden. P-Dog says, my blocked account is green. P-Dog, I don't think you have a blocked account. I think what's going on with this, I don't know for sure, but I think what's going on with this is our multi-streaming across different platforms. I think my suspicion is that's why we're in a tricky situation. I know I told Mel that I would talk more about that as well. So that being said, you guys, let's bring on Tuesday's guest. No sense in belaboring and keeping him back there on ice, although I could use some ice right now because it is steamy up here in Western New York, but nobody's hotter than LJ from H-Town, our guy. Let's go. LJ!
What's going on, Mikey? How we doing, buddy?
Great to have you back, my guy. I know the work schedule can keep you down, but we appreciate and respect you taking the time to come back. You wanted to talk some baseball and NBA today.
Yes, sir.
And I'm excited for it, my guy. I know you've brought some great trends. We were talking on Sunday about some of those trends that you got for us in baseball. We're building the catalog to have a monster season in baseball. I feel it brewing here. We're just a smidge under 20 units positive on the season in baseball this year already, LJ. I'm excited to see what you can bring to the table for us so that we can all start rocking and cashing and getting bigger bankrolls. Happy Wednesday.
Hey, happy Wednesday to you, man. Like I said, I love joining you. I had some time today. Got off work early, so I hit you up. It's like, Mike, let me come on the show, man. Let's get this money for the people. So glad to be here.
Well, let's do just that. Before we transition, I know you do dabble in the NHL as well. Did you have any thoughts on this Florida and Rangers game that you wanted to share with us?
Yeah, I'm on Florida. I think Florida and Dallas are going to meet up in the Stanley Cup. I think Florida's the best team in the East. Dallas is the best team in the West. And I just think Florida, I think it's going to go under because they've been trending to the under for the most part all year. But I'm just going to stick to Florida, winning the game, winning the series. And I think they're going to meet up with Dallas in the Stanley Cup.
going to be fun. That Edmonton-Dallas series is going to have a lot of eyeballs on it. A lot of people talking about Dallas really from the All-Star break forward. So not surprised to see them there. Edmonton's opportunity now as well with Connor McDavid.
Mm-hmm.
He's needed, his entire NHL career he's waited to get to this point just to take that next step forward. So it'll be fun to see if they are in fact ready. But man, Dallas has got to be hot right now. You guys got the Mavs rolling out there. You guys got your Dallas Stars rolling out there. Houston and Texas playing some Major League Baseball. They're always big teams to root for as well. What's the temperature of the city, man? It's got to be popping.
Oh yeah, it's hot, to be honest with you. It's like 90, out here. So yeah. And I may go down to Dallas this weekend. I'm thinking about taking the wifey to go see Luka Game 3 on Sunday. I got Memorial Day off from work, so probably stay out in Dallas this weekend, catch some games, catch the Stars too. I think the Stars are coming out there too. That Saturday, I believe, is going to be Game 3. I believe. I'm not sure, but yeah, I told the wife we may make a trip down to Dallas, go see Luka. Game 3.
Oh man, that sounds like that would be. I can imagine what's going. Both teams in the big games right now. That's just got to be nuts. Even just hanging out around the city even if you're not at the game and you're just at a bar watching the game, it's got to be just a ton of fun. Everyone's got to be going crazy right now down there in Dallas.
Yep, I'm gonna go check out.
Well, let's get to work, LJ. We got some baseball on deck here tonight, and it's a bit of a shorter card for me here. We've had some opportunity to open up the window here for the last couple of weeks, but I kind of streamlined it. Afternoon action left us with a smaller slate in Major League Baseball to begin with, but we got plenty of time to get to the NBA with the later start, and then we've got some WNBA as well. I don't know if you've been capping WNBA or not, but it's something I started getting into it. I started playing around with some of the numbers, trying to watch the line movement and see some of these players as well. But
yeah, I don't hate it. I just haven't had time to really dive into it like that. So
yeah, I don't watch it. I'm not a watcher. Maybe I should start watching it a little bit. I just look at the stats. It's X's and O's for me, but
yeah,
we'll see. We came off that sweep last night, so it'd be nice to see if we can't back it up with another winner tonight. Excuse me. But LJ, have not had the chance to see what your thoughts were with some of these games, but I'll kind of toss them out there. And if you have some action, we can talk about it. If not, my first game starts with San Diego and Cincinnati, but I see at 6:40 p.m. we've got the Milwaukee Brewers and the Miami Marlins here. And quite the interesting spot. The road favorite in the Brewers went from -140 to -130. And a total that's been pretty much frozen at 7. 99% of the bets and 99% of the cash on the over. It's Jesus Luzardo coming back here now, making, I think it's his second start since coming back from the IL. And then Freddie Peralta. We heard from our guy, boots on the ground up there in Milwaukee with Joey T, who said, doesn't think something might be wrong with Freddie Peralta, but I didn't have any action in this game. How about yourself?
Freddie Peralta, you're on the right game. He's the Brewers. We're on the Padres and Reds.
No. Yeah, I was looking at the first game on the card, the Brewers and the Marlins. I don't have action in it. I was just seeing if you had anything.
Oh, no. I have no action in that.
Okay. Yeah, I sweat this Brewers series out enough already. I lost that first game. I won the second game. I'm happy to get the fuck out of this thing here. I'm just not interested in sweating that out any longer. Wouldn't surprise me to see something awry. Usually the home favorite on a total of 7 is a sure thing here, but with this away favorite, just a tricky spot I didn't want to be involved with. How about the Texas Rangers? We just aforementioned the city of Dallas, but we got Texas popping here, the Texas Rangers, the Philadelphia Phillies out there. Phillies, the hottest team in Major League Baseball, making great contact, seeing the ball like a beach ball right now when that thing comes across the plate. But we got some line movement here that went from -144 to -120. 83% of the bets and 89% of the cash on the Philadelphia Phillies. And the total that's climbing up, 78% of the bets and 79% of the cash on the over. It went from 9.5 to 10. Taijuan Walker, dunning on the bump for the Texas Rangers. I kind of want to fall into if this Phillies line is a trap, I kind of want to fall into it, LJ. I haven't pulled the trigger. Did you have any official action in the Texas Phillies game?
No, I don't have anything official, but it would be Philly or nothing for me just because of how Texas has been performing with their bats. They haven't been hitting the bat well. They're 3-11 to their team total in their last 14 games. 3 runs or less, 8 out of their last 10. So they're struggling right now. As far as the Phillies, they're hot, like you said, but mainly the Phillies, if you go back in their schedule, they haven't really played any above 500 teams. I think it was Atlanta, the first series that they played. Other than that, they've been playing cupcakes. But hey, you play who's in front of you, and you can't deny They've been putting up numbers and they've been winning. So they are 27-8 versus teams that are below 500. So they are in a good spot. And I just believe the fact that they've hit 5+ runs, what's this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the last 8 games. I mean, you only can look Phillies, man, but I don't have official play in the game.
Yeah. You mentioned kind of the mediocrity that is Texas right now as well. There's a nice trend with Taijuan Walker. When he plays a mediocre team, he's got himself a 52-16 record going on right now. He's won 7 of his last 10 against those mediocre teams. This number just felt super suspect to me here. Why am I looking at a minus 120? And if that does be the trap, then I might very well circle back and get into it. But with all that cash coming in, I stayed off that game. Another 640 game that I didn't touch, the San Francisco Giants and the Pittsburgh Pirates. San Fran was one of my favorite plays. I think it was my favorite play on the board yesterday. They did me dirty. Pittsburgh came back and beat them up, beat them down, beat them every which way you could out there. This line opened up at minus 120. Now minus 121 with 74% of the bets and only 66% of the cash. Kind of seems like the sharps are a little bit split on how this side's going to go. Some of them leaning towards taking the cash at the plus 110 on the San Francisco Giants. It's Blake Snell. Tough season for Blake Snell, starting off with the 11.57 ERA. No run support to boot at 0-3. And then we got the up-and-comer Jones out there with Pittsburgh at 2.89 ERA and a 3-4 record. I think as I kind of initially surface level looked at this game, I thought, well, this is probably got to be a Pittsburgh spot here, LJ, but just couldn't pull the trigger. What do you think?
Yeah, I would go Pirates or nothing, just simply because of how good they are on the run line. They're the best team in the league, 17-5 after a win to the run line. So that right there is just something that just stands out. But I didn't play it just because I played it last night and they ended up coming back and winning the game. So I'm just going to take my win from last night because I don't like giving the bookies back money that we just took from them. So I'm just going to stay on the sideline with this one because I already cashed last night. But, yeah, it'll be Pirates or nothing for me.
That's exactly how I felt about that Milwaukee game. I was happy to get back to neutral in that series. I don't need to go giving that one back up.
Exactly.
Justin McKelvey says Giants had me violent last night. Yeah, me too. Me too. Johnny K says Pitt, one of the top teams in the league covering the run line. What's up, Johnny K? And Kelly V says if Texas is going to win one in the series, it would be today. I'm not betting it, but lowest money seen on all year for the first inning. Philly to score first inning plus 145. Kelly V has been riding that Philly to score first pretty consistently on the season. So that's something we definitely want to keep our eyes on. I know she's been sharing that play with us. What's up, Marcus Carrasco? It's good to see you, my guy. And Kelly V says tomorrow Wheeler goes, by the way, over tonight. Both team totals are 4 at Bet Rivers. Interesting spot there with that game itself. But let's get into something that I am a little bit more excited to talk a little bit about here. The San Diego Padres, the Cincinnati Reds. Here's a spot. Yesterday, nailed that Ellie De La Cruz spot there. Give me that pinch hitter, the two-way hitter against a pitcher. I think that just gives them the advantage every day of the week. That guy has been red hot. What's he now? 14 stolen bases ahead of anybody near him in the Major League Baseball. He's been stealing bases like crazy. Here we go. This line opened up the San Diego Padres minus 130. They've got 63% of the bets and 90% of the cash, but the line has dropped 4 cents. Then we look at a total that's got steam pouring in on the under, 77% of the bets and 74% of the cash on the under, yet it's sitting at 9.5. So we've got some minor, there's really, I don't want to say it's reverse line movement with the San Diego Padres because the Cincinnati Reds haven't moved. It's plus 110. It's sitting at plus 110. This is a tricky little spot, LJ. We got the opportunity for bounce back and Michael King, 4.31 ERA, 3-4 on the season. The other side of things with the Reds, hard to trust him. He's out there again. Martinez with a 4.23 ERA. And, again, a losing pitching record simply means that it's just a guy you can't really count on to be leading after 5 innings here. And I think that's the way that I kind of backed into this game. How did I want to go and tackle it? 2-0 beatdown yesterday for those Reds against San Diego. The San Diego just couldn't get anything going. Back-to-back doubleheader spot. Then they had to travel as well. That San Diego Padres team from Atlanta to Cincinnati, LJ. What say you about this game here? What do we got? Sides, totals, props? Lay it on
Yeah,
us.
I'm right there with you. I'm going to take the Padres. I split up my unit, money line and run line, just because I love taking teams off a shutout loss. If you didn't score, I'm coming back on you the next game. And the Padres are a good team on the road. They have 15 wins on the road, which is right with Philly in the National League. So they're right there playing the best ball on the road, coming off that shutout loss. I'm going to jump on these Padres. And the fact that the Reds are 6-13 off of a win, and they've lost 3 in a row in this situation. So I think Padres is good money tonight. So split it up, money line and run line for a game.
I like it. Going for the big strike as well. We talked about this before. The road team certainly has the better advantage if you can knock in that run. I'm trying to thought I was having a stroke there for a second. Couldn't get the words out of my mouth here, but you touched on the numbers that I had. Early favorites. So the early game being something before a 7:30 first pitch. Early favorite after a shutout, 71-26, LJ. Great numbers. I love to correlate with you there when you're talking about San Diego coming back off that shutout. And we got a weird situation here. The Reds 0-7 when they're in a dog roll, and the pitcher had over 70 pitches but less than 5 strikeouts the previous game. So when I kind of broke that one apart, what that said to me was you're just lucky that the other team couldn't hit. Because if they could have hit, they would have had guys on base. Exactly. They would have been struggling as they rounded the horn there to get and keep those runs off the board, and they probably would have lost that game. So I don't want to say it's the their due factor, but it's like you snuck through with the shutout. You really didn't do too much on the bump itself, and now that following game, you're 0-7 in those spots. So I love it. I think it's a great San Diego spot tonight. Yep. And, we've been playing around trying to get this thing rolling in the right direction. I'm going to start the rollover challenge here tonight. We lost it last night with that Detroit under 9, but I'm going to take the Padres. Love to hear that you're on it as well. And we got ourselves a -126. So we'll have $100 investment. I'll give you guys the numbers on it specifically here. It should be about a $75 return, give or take, for that $100 to get San Diego to start our rollover challenge. LJ, just 7 games. That's all we need to roll over. We should be able to get ourselves close to 10 grand. What the fuck? Get it done.
Yeah, let's get it.
Let's get that money. Let's go. I'd love to hear that I'm in alignment with my guy, LJ from H-Town. The next game we've got popping off here as well is 6:50 p.m. It's the Boston Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Rays. This line opened up at -120 for Tampa Bay. It's moved to -135. We have heavy action coming in on Tampa Bay. 70% of the bets, 81% of the cash on them Rays. Then we've got reverse line movement on the total. This thing opened at 8. It's gone down to 7.5. We have 99% of the bets and 99% of the cash on the Red Sox. It's on the over. Brian Bello and Pepio situation out there. Both these guys are pretty even. Bello, 3.96 ERA with a 4-2 record. Pepio, 3.68 ERA with a 3-2 record out there with these two guys. Should be an interesting battle. We know Boston already has 2 games in hand on this third game series. An upset 5-0. This is their second straight road trip second straight series on the road. Started off with a 5-0 win. Then they got themselves a 5-2 win yesterday, LJ. Any thoughts on the Red Sox tonight here? What do you think about this action?
Don't have official play, but I would probably lean Tampa Bay just because of avoiding the sweep. I always would take a team to avoid a sweep in baseball. That's just something that I just throw a little side money to just to see if it hits. But mostly I probably would just take Boston's team total because they've hit their team total 6 out of their last 8 games, averaging around like 5 runs on the road. And they average more runs on the road than they do at home. So if you want to look at Boston, I'll just take their team total. But if you're looking at a side, I probably would take Tampa Bay to win the game just to avoid the sweep, but nothing official.
Clint Zerline, it was Zerline. It is the San Diego Padres. San Diego Padres just on the money line. So we're going to pay a little juice there. You could do the -1 if you wanted, but just official tracking purposes, we got -126 with the Padres. LJ, you talk about the streak or the sweep, not wanting to get in a sweep position. We have some numbers for that. How about this one? Pretty sizable, exactly what you would expect, right on par with your breakdown there. The away dog in the last game of the series if they've won the previous 2 games, are 1,599, 1,600 to 2,400. 800 more losses than wins in that sample. It's happened a ton. It's been but 800 more times the team has not gotten swept when they're in that favorite role, that last game of a series. So I like it. I think, the Rays, I mentioned this to you earlier on Jimmy's show too. The AL East, I said this last year, or I talked about last year, when they were outside of division, they were winning over 70% of the time. When the AL East, it was ridiculous to see when they went out against non-division teams, they busted everybody up. But when they played in the division, it was like a 50-50 split. Those teams were pretty equally rated across the board, whether you caught them at the right time or whatever the case may be, it was 50-50. Definitely bounce back situations to get to 50-50. And the Rays are one of the best in the AL East against the division after that loss. The Rays against division after a loss are 48-18 as well. So kind of a big situation to look at there. Divisional bounce back opportunity. The Rays are one of the best to do it across all of Major League Baseball. And what a great time to catch them now, too, because those bats have heated up. They're not happy. It was only a matter of time for this series based on what Tampa did just last week when they went to Boston and played up in Boston. You got to figure that law of averages is going to come back, and they're going to play to about a 50-50 spot. That's why you see these Boston got those first 2 games of the series. Now we're in a spot where it's that bounce back and trying to close it out. And
you said you said 48-18 versus
48-18. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Off the loss. Got it.
That's a nice little winning advantage for him out there as well. And Subhuman says that's an interesting stat. Peasy may take the -1 all the same just to be safe. What's Peasy busting him down for us? Padres run line. All but 4 of their wins have been by more than 1 run from our guy Peasy. That's a great stat.
That's a
great number. There we go. We got Stirring Company in the house out there. There's a name I haven't thus far seen. Appreciate you commenting with us. Says the Rays, San Diego, and Philly moneyline parlay. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. It's got to be around a plus 360-ish, 365, 368. I may have touched something like that earlier today myself. Let's roll on, though. LJ, I'm loving it here. We're kind of seeing things with the same eyes at this point here, which could be good. It could be bad. We'll see how that works out. But man, this next series, this next game with Seattle and the Yankees, tricky situation. There's, again, no action for me in this one. High level. This kind of feels it's hard for me to speak to this game. The Yankees go through these periods where they shit the bed and they just suck and they collectively bunch together losses, and they shouldn't. Mm-hmm. Those bats, Stanton, we've got the gang out there. When you've got Judge has been pretty consistent in and out. It doesn't really seem to make a difference who they're playing. Juan Soto can kind of certainly go cold from time as well. And I just wonder if that's one of these spots these guys are in here. Numbers tell me this is an under spot again. I've gotten burned twice on the under in this Yankees game because of late inning heroics by the Seattle Mariners. The Seattle Mariners refuse to quit. And because of that, I don't have any play on them. LJ, did you have any action that you wanted to share with us in this Mariners game?
Of course I have action in this game.
I thought you might.
Yankees off a loss, ladies and gentlemen. They've lost 2 in a row, trying to avoid a sweep. And I'm going to jump on these Yankees simply because they are very good in the 3rd game of a series. We talked about this other day, Mike. 12-3 in the 3rd game of a series are the New York Yankees. So I'm jumping all on that money line, and I'm going back to my guy, Aaron Judge. It's the same situation that I tweeted out. What was that, Sunday?
Sunday, yeah.
Judge, over 1.5 bases, 8-1 to the over 1.5 bases in the 3rd game of a series outside of the division. Now, I know that's a lot. I know a lot of people say, how did you figure that out? Hey, I'm insane, man. I'm a sports nerd. I like to find tendencies of people, and I track this stuff every single day. And this is one of the trends that I have found. So the fact that it's 8-1 now, over 1.5 bases outside of his division in the 3rd game, I'm going to continue to take it. And I even sprinkled the home run because he's 7-2 to the home run in that situation. So Aaron Judge, -110, over 1.5 bases, home run, +150, and I'm on the Yankees money line. Bookie.
Nice, dude. Nice. Wow, look at that home run number. I did find you a plus 190 on the home run number.
Let's do it.
Man, that's aggressive. I like it. How do you go about tracking something like that? Do you
I just look at the players that are performing, and I see when they digress, like what are they off a bad game? And I just go through their numbers and I go through the schedule and I see where are they the best that they perform. And a lot of these guys are best off a loss. Like if they don't get a hit, they come back with 2+ bases. So I'm tracking William Contreras for the Brewers. He's like that. Of course, Corey Seager's like that. So a lot of these guys, you can find their tendency. Sometimes you fade people off of a 2+ base. Like Taylor Ward for the Angels, he's one of the guys that I fade every time he hits 2+ bases. The next game, I go under. And this is just something that I just do, Mike. I'm very good at finding tendencies of these players. And this is the way I cap. You know, I don't look at the markets. I don't look at all the sides and all that y'all look to. Now, I'm not hating on that because y'all do this professionally. I get that. Y'all have to look at all the angles. I'm a simple capper, and I cap tendencies. So I just try to find these tendencies of these players of where they perform the best, and I stay on it. And that's what I do. So I got Aaron Judge right now. It's early in the season. It's only late May, so we got a lot of time to track this stuff. But, hey, the fact that it's hitting now, we need to get on it now because you don't want to be late to the money train.
I'm selfishly taking a stop at the terminal of the money train so I can hop on it real quick here. What I'm going to do here, that's just kind of hearing your breakdown, what we're looking at with this opportunity here.
And he has good numbers versus Miller. I think he got 2 home runs off of Miller in his career.
Yeah, if I take the Yankees, the under 8.5 and a Judge home run, it's plus 650 on DraftKings right now. So
Ooh, take it.
Yeah. There we go. Kelsey says the LJ's money train play of the day. That's a great look. That's a great assessment. Great breakdown, LJ. I love everything about it. I'm involved. I'm invested in it. It wouldn't let me add the the total bases because I think of the juice that was on it in relation to the home run prop kind of trumped out. Sometimes it does that, like when you try to put those same game parlays together. If it doesn't affect the odds by a certain amount, they just won't fuck with it and give it to you. Yeah. So nonetheless, love to hear it. That's exciting. I've got action back in on a game that I wasn't going to get action involved with there, but thank you, LJ. Let's roll on. Let's go north of the border to the 6. We got ourselves a battle brewing with the White Sox coming out yesterday, slugging them up there with these Toronto Blue Jays. The White Sox open up as huge dogs, and it's continuing to climb. Minus 215 for the Toronto Blue Jays. 92% of the bets and 93% of the cash on the Jays. It's gone to minus 238. Then we see a total that's dropping. It's gone from 8.5 to 8. Yet we have 86% of the bets and 84% of the cash on the over. Padres are already on the board. Let's go, Padres. Get her done. That's right. Love to get the big scores early before we even get moving. We're not even done with baseball yet. We're already on the board. And we got Bassett starting for the Blue Jays at 5.03. We've got Nastrini on the board for the White Sox at 7.88. LJ, I didn't want to get too cute with this one. I just wanted to pick apart the weaker pitcher. The Sox are fucking around with their rotation and trying to give Clevenger the extra day's rest so they can kind of stabilize some things and try to get their key 4 back into rotation. So they're calling up Nick Nastrini. Nick Nastrini got crushed. 5 earned runs over 3 innings. It was the Phillies. It was the Phillies the last time he came out there. But in this spot, to me, because he walked a lot of guys that last go-round, he's nothing spectacular or special with this ERA. I got the first 5 team total over 2.5. It's minus 110 for the Toronto Blue Jays. What do you think about that game? Any thoughts?
Nah, I don't have anything in this game. Both these teams are trash. They're at the bottom of their division. And the fact that White Sox won yesterday, Toronto should win the game. But, hey, you never know. Both these teams are at the bottom of Major League, so I didn't even look at this game.
We got our guy Justin says, just added the Judge trifecta for a half a unit each. Let's go. It's a bigger. You know what's exciting for me about that is I don't think I've had much Judge action this year. So it's exciting. Pete Ott says, Judge 2 for 3, a home run, and a double versus Miller as well. Man, sounds like we are all going to be wearing the Aaron Judge jersey tonight. But, this White Sox Toronto spot was just kind of shit. But I saw that when they made that pitching change, I thought that gave the advantage back to, these hitters now with Toronto. There's enough out there. There's enough guys that should be able to put the ball into the ground or into the field to get some guys on base, especially with, I think the second time through the order, it's going to be trouble. Wouldn't surprise me to see it be 4-0 for the Toronto Blue Jays after the top of the fifth, but that's a play I've been trying to make work a little bit more. I feel like I might be shoehorning it a little bit more, square peg in the round hole, trying to make this damn thing work. But man, when it does work, it's glorious. And I think it's going to get there for us tonight. So let's move on. Let's go. We've got one game left for me, official play on the board in Major League Baseball. Thank you to LJ for getting me on the Aaron Judge same game parlay. We've got the Atlanta Braves and the Chicago Cubbies, 7:40 p.m. Eastern. This line opened up for the Braves at minus 146. It's dropped to minus 129, despite heavy trading coming in here. 77% of the bets and 82% of the cash on the Braves. This total's climbed up. 92% of the bets and 92% of the cash on the over. We've got Max Fried, Justin Steele right now. Steele with a 5.21 ERA, 0-1 on his season. Then we look at Fried. He's 3.81 ERA and 3-2 on his season, LJ. What do you think about what's going down in Chi-Town? Wrigley Field here, 72 degrees, about 12 miles an hour of wind I see when the first pitch goes down, but it doesn't seem like it's enough to affect the overall total on this game. If they were concerned, it'd be like yesterday with an 11 or a 12, but that being said, LJ, Atlanta and the Cubs, I've actually got a couple spots on this game that I wanted to get into. What do you think about this one?
Didn't have a play, but I probably would just lean under just because of the Braves, the trend that's going on right now. I think it's 21-4 in their last 25 to the under. I'm not sure the right number, but they've been hitting the under for the most part. And 30 wins to the under so far. 9-2 in their last 11 is what I got. So that's probably the way I would lean. I would trust the Braves to come back and win the game, especially off a loss. What they have 2 losses? They're going 2 losses right now, or 1? Because I know they lost. They won that last game versus the Padres because they played 4.
Right. They played that doubleheader series. They won that last game, and then they came back out there after that, and they took the L yesterday, and they struggled in that Pirates series. They went 1-3 in that Pirates series.
So typically, like I said, I would probably take the Braves off a loss, but the Cubs are good too, and I would probably just stay away. But you always can look at Ozuna. I talked about Ozuna, hitting versus the National League. So that would probably, if you're looking for a player prop, that would probably be a good look for him, over 1.5 bases for Ozuna. But anything else, no, because I just think Atlanta's struggling right now, and the Cubs, they're a good team. So I'll just pass on this one, but I would probably lean to the under for the most part.
Yeah, and it's kind of that classic bounce back situation. A lot of these teams, because of the length that they have in the series, this one had specifically to do with blowing a lead. It's one we talked about yesterday at Cash Forest. The road teams off a loss where they blew a lead are 50-11. If it's within the same series and the total's at least an 8. So for whatever reason, that 7.5s to 7s become some crucial numbers out there. Texas Rangers on the board now as well, 1-0. So in the bounce back situation, they blew the lead. They come back on the road. If it's in the same series, they're 50-11. We talked about this last week with the Braves where they're capable of just clusters. They're just cluster attackers. They go hot and they go cold, and they do it all collectively. Like they all synchronized and got themselves on the same page. So with that being said, I did take Atlanta in this game because of that kind of bouncing back off the loss. I don't believe in seeing them take that over. Now, there's still plenty of games for these guys to go. And I don't know that they're overall concerned about the sweep in this series, but it was a battle yesterday, 4-3. And I think that they want to shake this little losing streak that they're on as well. So the fact that the trends are angled in that direction, and I got a low number. Yesterday was tricky. Yesterday, I liked the Braves. We didn't go official with them, but we liked the Braves specifically because when you're the home team and you're off of the doubleheader situation, and then you go on the road, there was like a nice little advantage for that spot. And I thought Atlanta being priced at minus 124 might be a little value on the card here, but missed that spot. I do believe today is the case. And I believe it's 22-1. The Atlanta Braves, when they're less than a plus 160 dog which is, but that, as long as they're not a huge dog, they got that huge under train running. So double dipped it. I've got Atlanta. I see a minus 129 out there now. So Atlanta minus 129. And then I took Atlanta and the under 8.5, and I got it at plus 255. So some of the success that we've been having here on Last Call, LJ, is kind of pairing together the side and the total where you think it might make sense. And I think it does in this case here. We'll see a lower scoring game. We'll see Atlanta come through, and hopefully those bats wake the F up, LJ. It's enough already. Kelly V says Yurfie was plus 140 in the Milwaukee-Miami game. I saw that. Miami's already on the board. Texas is on the board. Miami's on the board. We might not make all the right plays, but we try to stay off of the wrong plays as well. That's what it's all about, collectively coming together. Joe Free says, hey, Mike, that run from the Padres was an Arraez bomb, a Rise bomb. He doesn't hit many, but hit one at the right time. I got to believe that was priced over plus 1,000 if it was Louis Arraez getting the home run there in the walk-off situation. His numbers have been crazy, LJ. RBIs, 250s. This offense and the way they hit, he's going to make it his way to my lineup if he keeps moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I think he's had like 6+ bases, 6 straight. Well, it's 7 now, I think. 7 straight games. Arraez has had 2+ bases. So since he's been traded over there to the Padres, he's been performing.
Padres are coming up, man. They got some things happening. That's exciting to see. The Dylan Cease acquisition after they made some moves out there offensively. They get rid of Juan Soto. Then they bring in Arraez. That's fun to see what's going on with that team. We'll keep our eyes on them. But that is the rollover. That's the first leg of the rollover. Let's move on to the NBA, LJ. We've got just 2 games left to talk about here. For me, the NBA, and then, of course, the Cincinnati Reds come right back. Was it Ellie? Was it Ellie? I'm sorry. I'm taking a little detour here to check this thing out here. But was it Dave?
No, it was Candelo Rio.
Candelo, yeah.
Good.
Good. So we got ourselves a big game brewing out here. Minnesota Timberwolves have been taking a lot of action. They've been taking 74% of the bets and 76% of the cash. The line hasn't moved. It's sitting at 4.5. It's been 4.5 since this line opened. A huge ticket count with 109,000 tickets in the sample. And we've seen the total on the creep. LJ, I'm very excited to hear your breakdown here with this NBA spot because, what I did with that Boston series, and I think I was talking about this with you on Sunday, I didn't want to mess around with the 10s. I thought that's just too many. Let me just play series bets. That being said, with this one, I think all bets are in play here. It's game by game for me. No series bets as far as it's concerned here. But let's talk about this Dallas Mavericks, Minnesota Timberwolves team. And I guess right from the top, what do you think about the side on this game here, the 4.5? Do you think that the Dogs are live on the road? Or does Minnesota come out here and just comfortably handle things right off the hop?
I don't know, Mike. I don't know. I didn't take a side just because I got to see the first game. Minnesota's coming off that high, Game 7 in Denver. So I know emotions are running high with them. And as far as Dallas, they've been chilling, man. They've been off since Saturday. So, they should be healthy. Luka's been dealing with some injuries, so he should be good to go. He got some nice rest. So I just got to see the first game because Kyrie only played 1 game in the season versus Minnesota. And Luka only played 2 games. Granted, they both had 30 in those games that they played, but it's not a good sample size for me to try to pick a side in game 1. So I'm just going to stick to the total simply because 3 out of the 6 games, Oklahoma City and Dallas series, it went under. 5 out of the 7 games, the Wolves and Denver series, it went under. And both these teams play at a slow place. They play half court. They like to milk the shot clock down to get a good shot. So Dallas is very good at fast break efficiency and defense. They don't let you get on the fast break that much. And as far as Minnesota, they like to do a half-court offense as well. They like to run the pick and roll, get Karl Anthony Towns involved with the screens, and then, Anthony Edwards will try to figure it out once the shot clock winds down. So I believe that the under is in play. I took the first half and full game under. I double up on it just because I just think there's going to be a lot of missed shots. They're going to fill each other out. And like I said, a couple of these players didn't play versus these teams enough sample size during the regular season. So for that case, I took the under, and I also got a couple of props. I took a prop parlay. I like my prop parlays, man. So I got Kyrie Irving, 20+ points. I got Luka Doncic, 8+ rebounds, and I got PJ Washington, 2+ threes. That puts you at a +184. Now, this prop hit the last game, game 6, when Dallas played Oklahoma City, and it also hit game 3. And the only reason why it hasn't been hitting mostly is because Kyrie hasn't been getting his points in his second round. Like the first round, he did good. But the second round, he's had 20, he had 9, he had 22, and 9, and 12, and 22 at the last. So he's been fluctuating throughout the series of his points, but I'm just going to ride that out for this series to see how it hits. Hopefully he can get to 20 because I trust Luka's going to get the 8 rebounds. He's going to get more than that. He's going to get double-digit rebounds. I think his prop is at 8.5 rebounds. Like, he's had 10+ rebounds in 5 straight games. So he's definitely going to get double-digit rebounds. He's at 8.5 assists as well. I think he's going to get that too because he's had double-digit assists in 3 straight games. Now, I did take his 2+ steals at +100 because he's had 2+ steals 5 out of the last 6 games in the second round. He had 2+ steals. So I don't see why he can't get 2+ steals again. He likes to hang out, in the passing lanes. He doesn't play good defense that much. He likes to guard the weakest player on the other team so he can save his energy for the offense. That's why he gets so much rebounds because he's not guarding anybody. So for that reason, I'm just going to stick to the props, and I'm going to trust that the game first half under and full game go under. Just because, like I said, I just think they're going to feel each other out. This is the first game, and it's not enough sample size for me to try to pick a side because some of these players didn't play the full games during the season. But full disclosure, once Dallas loses, I'm all on Dallas the next game. Simply because Luka is the best player in the NBA history in the playoffs coming off a loss. He's averaging 30-some points off a loss, and they usually win the game. So for that reason, I'm just going to wait to see how they respond. But definitely, if they lose this game, I'm on Dallas game 2. But as far as that, I'm on the first half under, full game under, Luka's 2+ steals, and I'm on my parlay, Kyrie 20+ points, Luka 8+ rebounds, PJ Washington 2+ threes, +184 parlay.
+184?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then what did you have for the Luka 2+ steals? What was that?
+100, even money.
Nice, dude. Well, that's an interesting, to your point around the player props and stuff, that's what I thought about that Boston series. Like, I didn't want to mess around with the 10. When are they going to win versus what are they going to do this next game? Now we're going to be sitting at a 10 again. And the question is, do we see the public come in on Indy because they saw that they almost won outright, or does the public come in and battle saying there's no way they don't cover 2 in a row? I just don't want to mess around with those. Get me off of that. But with this series, like I said, I think everything's in play. I love that prop parlay. I love playing the props as well. I'm going to have to spend a little more time looking as we get closer to these games. I am taking side and total in this game, though. And fuck my pig-headedness, my stubbornness, whatever you want to call it. But I start hearing under. And now this is irregardless of your breakdown, but for 2 days, everyone's been telling me about this under, and I was like, look, it's a small sample, super small sample. But when we got a game as a home favorite after a 7-game series, game 1 has gone over 12 of 13 times. After a 7-game series, maybe it's exhaustion. Maybe it's the defense is just a little bit gassed, trying to come back in there and figure things out. I dismissed that a little bit because this is huge. I mean, you don't get gassed by now. You're at peak shape and ready to roll. The Timberwolves are 13-0 to the over when they're playing a conference opponent after a huge comeback at halftime. So they continue to get rolling when they're steaming. They were down over 8 points at halftime when they come back from an 8+. I still can't believe they came back on that Denver team. Holy shit. What a waste of Denver's effort and comeback to come back and lose like that at the very last half of the entire 7-game series. But
right.
Nonetheless, then I was looking back on it, and when we've got the Mavericks on a total under 210, it's gone over 8 games every single game. So we kind of got an intersecting 0 spot there when the Mavs play on that low total, even though they like to control pace. I get all of that stuff. I just thought this number was a little, I don't know. Maybe I take that out. I'm on Dallas +4.5 too. To me, this is that spot. Minnesota's 0-7 when they scored no more than 36 points in the paint the previous game. So blocked up paint. They were not effective out there. That's why they had to come back and battle to get that comeback. But expect the paint to be pretty occupied today as well. And they're in a bad spot when that situation takes place as well. Let's see. Last but not least, teams off a win as a dog in Game 7. Now the home favorite. I talked about that trend across the NBA. They're also 0-3-1 in those spots. So just kind of suggest some fade situations. Maybe I'm overanalyzing or overvaluing. There was no line movement in this spot as well. So I like Dallas. I like the over 4.5. I'm going to get on the money line as well here. I'm just going to let that thing kind of stream a little bit higher here. Right now, the money line is plus 166. I don't think it's their series by any means. It's going to be competitive. I just have a suspicion here that Luka, you're not going to be fresher, especially with the battle and the question about the injuries that he's had, the injury that his back's been dealing with, his legs. Not going to be fresher than he is in Game 1 of this series. So he's got to have that big game. I like him to get, you were talking about some of his prop totals and stuff like that. I had looked at trying to get him 30-plus points and 4+ threes. That was something that was kind of on my radar as well. I think this is a big Luka game. Big spot, big opportunity. Come up, play right, show up, show out, and get the job done. 28.5 points for Luka is minus 130. And then, you look at his 3 points, over 3.5 is plus 130. So somewhere in between there's probably going to be an angle that I get involved with as well. But I like it. I like the breakdown. I mean, we're a little bit head to head here when it comes to the total, but I love the props. I love the parlay you gave us out there. The 2+ steals is a lot of fun as well, knowing your numbers with Luka. It's exciting, LJ. We're right on the cusp of this game here. I know there's going to be a live stream tonight at 8:30. Billy Briz, I believe C-Mac and the gang will be there. I'm going to try to get there as well.
Yeah, I'm going to jump on too.
I say try to because, man, these live streams during this playoff run have been killing me. I'm beat. It takes a lot of tenacity to continue to work bottles of vodka and the commitment that I have for our Pub Sports Radio family. But LJ, right before we go off the hop here, I'm going to give you just one last play for everybody, and then we'll put the bow on the show here. Nothing special about this 10 p.m. WNBA game. It's the Fever and the Storm. But what I did notice here is kind of the direction that the line is moving. I don't like to see our guy with the wise guy action there going on the over, but I went to the under. The Fever game, Storm, Fever 0-4. Caitlin Clark acquisition. She's only 1-3 to her point total over. And then you look at these Fever games themselves. They scored 84. They got 80. They lost. They got 66, 71. They're struggling to score. These two teams are equally bad in defense, equally bad in offense. This line just opened up at 167.5. It's down to 166.5. You look at the trend with the Storm as well. Some injuries going on in that Storm's lineup, but first game of the season, they put up 195 points. It's been shrinking every game since. 159, 137. Nice little angle here when we see this line movement, initial movement to the under, as well as a 70% hit rate in the WNBA to the under. So 70%, we're seeing it correlate to the down and the under movement. I'm not a big fan of the offense of either of these two teams. I'm going to take the under 166.5 in some WNBA, LJ.
All right. Get it.
We'll continue to grind it out as we get further down the line and get more familiarity with these ladies programs. But LJ, tell them what's going on. What have you been up to? What's going on in the summer? What's on the deck for you? We heard about your Dallas plans potentially this weekend. That sounds like a lot of fun. Where can everybody find you?
Hey, man, they can find me on Twitter, X, at LJ Sports Media. They can find me right here, Pub Sports Radio. Anytime we're doing any shows, anytime y'all want to invite me on, I love coming on, bringing my, analysis, to the platform. And, hey, just hanging out, man. NBA's winding down. We're going to have the finals right around the corner. So after that, man, it's going to be all about baseball. But you know how we do in the summer, man. It's grind, relax, but get ready for this big football season that's coming up. So I'm very excited about that. I'm already looking at the NFL schedule, seeing these teams. I already mentioned that Detroit Lions, 14 of their first 15 games are indoors.
I saw that, and I saw that their team total is 12.5. Their win total for the season is 12.
I think I'm going to take it. Just because Jared Goff's very comfortable inside. He doesn't have to deal with any outside elements basically the whole season. So, yeah, that's going to be a nice little trend right there. But like I said, man, just hang out, relax, man, get ready, hang out for the summer and get ready for this football. But hey, we're gonna try to get all this money that we can in the NBA and continue to cash, Mike. So appreciate you for letting me come on, man. And like always, let's cash, baby.
Oh, man, it's great to see you back in action. We appreciate it. We love your action, your takes, your breakdowns, your props, your totals. You always do the homework, man. That's the most important thing for everybody is win, lose, or draw. We want to get paid, but it's important to come prepared and ready to rock. And you put us in the best situation to get paid by coming in as you do, professional and ready to roll. So respect, appreciate that. And I'm sure I will be seeing you up here shortly with the PSR basketball. All about the hoops tonight. It's going to be fun. All about the hoops with an NHL flair. It should be a lot of fun, LJ. And if I don't see you sooner, well, I'll see you shortly. But enjoy your Memorial Day weekend up there in Dallas as well, my guy. Appreciate you. And all you guys up in the chat, man, it's time to put the bow on this wonderful show that we've got here. Respect all you guys coming in, hanging out on the regular. Again, it means a ton to work with you guys day in and day out. We're all trying to do the same thing. We want to get paid. We want to have some fun. Let's go on a run. Let's get this money going in the right direction for us. And let's see if we can't go stack them high before Memorial Day. And then right on through into the summer. Kelsey, Joseph Alvarado, Jeffy D, Subhuman Gaucho. You guys are ready, man. Steve G, Kelly V. Appreciate you guys all rocking with us. So much fun to come and see you guys all here every single day, ready to give us your favorite looks as well. Old E, Ben Mills in the house, Rick J, Dan Kelly, my guy. Appreciate you so much. Pete Dog 781 Peasy. Sounds like Peasy's blocked. That's why we gotta look into that, you guys. That will be something that we do take away. Swig Bets, what up, my guy? Says love Mike and Jose are taking on WNBA. Helps break up baseball midsummer. Yeah, it's gonna be some fun. We'll see what we do. It's all about winning. If we come out there and we start puking, we're not going to continue to roll it with you guys. But we're having a good little run to start things off. So Ben Mills, Nicholas Handy, all you guys are great. Appreciate you coming in. Nasty Nate, a.k.a. Mr. Trifecta, a.k.a. Reverse Trifecta, a.k.a. The Mechanic is there rocking with us tonight. He's got the Wolves second quarter. Hope you guys all have a great night. Rick J, Marcus McCarthy, get your cash. Have a great time. And stay pumping, baby.